Problem number 2. Jake walks down the center of a spiral path shown. If the path is 2 meters wide, how far does he walk? Alrighty. Well, I'm actually going to start at the center. And I'm going to draw some more lines on here. Alright, just to make it a little easier. I think maybe I'll even make this bigger so that we can well, no, actually I'm going to leave it because I actually did sort of line this up. So I'm actually going to draw some more lines on here. So if you look at this square in the middle, I could draw a line down like that. So we know that that's a 2 by 2 square, right? Because the path is 2 meters wide. And so you can see he basically went 1 meter into the path because he ends up stopping right in the middle, right? We're going to assume that he doesn't go all the way to the back wall there. Alright, so he went 1 meter there, and also we could draw a line across here to create another 2 by 2 square, and you can see there's 1 meter there. Okay, so I'm going to just write these numbers out. So he walks 2 meters, and then he turns, and there's 2 meters there, and I can draw another 2 by 2 square here. And there's 1 meter and another 1 meter. Okay, so he walks 1 meter. Looks like he's going south. We'll call that south. So he walks 2 meters in the south direction. Alright. And then this leg here, let me draw some more lines here. Alright. So here's 3 2 by 2 squares across here. So there's 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters. Right? So that's 4. And if we look at this leg of his path here, then you can see again that's another 4 meters because there's 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, and 4 meters. Okay, so there's another 4 meters. So I'm starting to see a pattern: 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4. So what do you bet that this is 6 plus 6? So here's a meter here. Here's 2 meters more, so that's 3. There's 5, and then 6. So 6. And then, okay, let's look at this leg of the path here. I'm going to break it up into squares. They're not looking very much like squares, but so anyway, so there's 1 meter. Sorry, whoops. Actually, I'm going to erase that line here. It's kind of crooked. So we're looking at this kind of north-south path right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Well, that's looking promising that we're getting this 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6. Okay, so now we're right here. Let's look at this path. And what do you bet it's 8? Okay, so we have 2, 4, 6, and then 1 here and 1 here, so that is 8. Okay. So I'm guessing that this is 8. Alright, that's 8. And this is 10, I bet. Right? So we can write that as, how should I write that? Let's write it as 10 plus 10. I'm cheating a little bit here because I know what the answer is, so I'm going to write it that way. Okay, so let's see, we're here, right? Where are we? Let's see, this was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? And this one is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so we're up to here. Okay. And then we're going to get 12 plus 12. Let me mark those. 12 and 12. Alright. 12 plus 12. And then we're going to get 14 and 14. Alright, so plus 14 plus 14. And then finally, oh, this was the 14. And then finally, what's this one going to be? It's going to be, this one's a little bit irregular because it was the end of the path. So let's look at what that will be. So, yeah, I can't draw a straight line. So let me break it up into the squares. Alright, I can kind of just follow down. Right. And I mean, you could impose a grid on this whole thing and it might be easier. But okay, so we got, here I'm seeing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then 1 meter here. So that's going to be 15. So I'm going to write, I'll just write 15 right here. Alright, and you can see I wrote these numbers so that they sort of match up and make a bunch of 16s. And actually I could write this as plus, I could put the 8 down here and erase this 8. Okay? And that just makes my final addition of the path easier, because whenever I see numbers that, this is essentially two arithmetic series kind of interlaced, right? We have two, the one arithmetic series would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and another one you have, and then you have another one of those 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And I know when I add an arithmetic series, I can pair numbers and get that give me a constant sum. So here's 16, 16, 16, here's 16, 16, here's 16, here's 16, and then we have this 15 over here, right? So I'm going to add up a bunch of 16s, and how many 16s do I add up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 16s. And this is just one less than 16. So why don't I go ahead and just make it 8 times 16, and then I'll subtract 1 in the end. Alright, so this is going to give me 48, 128, and then I'll subtract 1 because I was really, I made this 16, but it was really 15, so that gives me 127. Okay, and that's in meters, right? So my answer is that Jake walked 127 meters down this path, assuming he's, keeping to the center the whole time, which Jake is actually my cat. And I can't imagine him walking straight and turning at 90-degree angles each time, but maybe he would. Hypothetically, in this problem, he does. Alright, so there's your answer. Jake walks 127 meters.